Okay, so feel free, if you'd like, you may remove your shoes. You don't have to, but if it's comfortable and you don't need your shoes, you can always get more stimulus on the feet without them. And then we'll stand on up and practice a little breathing. Feel free to adjust your chair too if you're close to somebody. You know, if you move your arms and somebody's within this range, you know, either move forward or backward a little bit. All right, and let's place the hands on the sides. The feet, let's get them nice and parallel, just pointing forward. Right, we are breathing into the lower abdomen, expanding into the sides, the lower back, and the lower abdomen area, pelvic floor. As you inhale, you should feel that expansion. And as you exhale, just kind of relax without letting the stomach totally deflate. All right. You want to maintain, like I've said before, you want to kind of imagine like there's a ball or a balloon that you're inflating down here, and that's creates stability for your spine and hips. All right. And as we're standing here focused on the breath, let's just do a little kind of body scan, like postural scan. We're going to start with the feet. With our feet, we want basically 3 points of contact: the heel, and then the metatarsal of your pinky toe, and the metatarsal of your big toe. So that's basically the point behind the pinky toe and the point just below the big toe. So those are basically known as the foot tripod. The arch, ideally, we don't want it to be collapsed inward. We want to try to have that pressure circling, you know, on the outer part of the foot, and the arch should be, you know, light, not collapsed. The knees, as we bring our attention upward, should be soft and relaxed. We're not hyperextending our knees. We're keeping them just loose and soft to allow good circulation, but not overly bent either, just comfortable. The hips, just be mindful that you're not tightening or clenching your glutes. I know, you know, obviously we want to be able to squeeze our glutes when we're exercising and such, but we shouldn't always be squeezing our glutes. So try to relax any tension in the hips. The lower back, just be mindful that there's not excessive tension. Sometimes when we're standing up tall, what I see is this, like people are standing like at military tension. That actually puts a lot of stress on your lower back. So just try to relax the lower back. Think of the tailbone almost dropping and pointing downward. And then think of the whole spine rising up. I like to think if there was a string kind of at the crown of my head, if that lightly pulled up, just kind of pull my head back, and it'll help my spine just rise while keeping my chest and everything else neutral and relaxed. And then relax your shoulders. The chin again should be kind of pulled back slightly and slightly tucked down. And just try to let go of any excess tension anywhere in the body. If there is any tension or pain, just take note of it, and hopefully it'll be something you can work out as we work in class. All right, and with that, let's take a nice breath in and slowly out. All right, and we're going to shift our weight to one side, pick up the heel and circle the heel. Just bring your chair just so that it's close to you, so that you can use it for, you know, balance, kind of as a safety net. You don't have to rely on it. Just make sure that it is within range, though. All right, reverse directions. Very good. Let's switch to the other side gently. Circle the heel. And reverse directions. All right, we're going to do another one for the ankle, but also for the hip. We're going to pivot on the heel and pivot in and out. And you can lightly let the hip just kind of turn with that motion as well. All right, shift to the other side, pivot on the heel. And this is always easier if you're able to shift most of your weight over the leg that's not moving. So stabilized over one leg, the other leg is just kind of free to open and close. Good. All right, shift to the other side, lift the heel this time, pivot on the ball of the foot. And then we'll go to the other side, lift the heel, pivot on the ball of the foot. All right, very good. Let's get into a wide split stance. That just means bring one foot forward, but kind of a wide position. And we're going to shift the weight forward and also turn the hips so that we're turning. If you think of the belly button, turn the belly button to face more forward, and then turn the belly button to face the side as we shift backward. So shift forward, belly button comes forward, shift backward, belly button turns to the side. And we're just kind of shifting the weight just as much as you feel comfortable. Just kind of within our limits of stability. If you exceed those limits, that's when you lose your balance. All right, and it's just as gently kind of warming up the hips and knees and letting us practice some good weight shifting. All right, switch legs. So shifting forward and backward. And as we shift forward, remember to turn the belly button to face forward. As we shift backward, turn the belly button to the side. All right, very good. And let's come back to the middle. Let's do a nice hip circle, coming around. Sort of using the upper body to help us counterbalance as we push those hips forward to the side and backward. And then let's reverse directions. So, there's one there, but you can also pull a chair up over here if you'd like. And relax. Oh, right there is fine. It should be okay. Yeah. All right. Go ahead and let's roll the shoulders back. And then we're going to tuck in the elbows, raise them up, and rotate back, hold this position. And we're going to do the invisible wall slide. So just kind of gently, whatever range is comfortable, bring the arms up and down, keeping the forearms kind of in line with the body, gently pulled back. All right, and then let's bring the arms out in front of us and circle, stirring the pot. And reverse directions. And relax, very good. All right, let's go into just some gentle high knees. It helps to kind of lift the opposite arm. And do this just close to your chair, just so if you lose your balance, you can quickly regain it. Right. And then let's do one more. We're going to do what I call the collapsing floor tile. We're going to be walking forward, and back, back. So kind of as quickly as you can, comfortably step forward, step back. All right, try to switch directions quickly. right? And then we're going to be switching our feet. So if you're stepping with your left, right, next we're going to go right, left, right, left. And again, just be close to your chair. This is challenging our reactive balance. Quickly switching directions in one mode, and then you have to switch. All right, very good. And finally, let's do a little side step. Call it side step with a twist. We're just going to step to the side, reach across, reach. Gently loading one foot. In, step in, in. And relax. Let's catch your breath. Inhale and exhale. One more time. All right. So we're going to start with actually just a quick exercise for the knee stability, which is really important for balance. Relies on our hip, our ability for our hips to stabilize our knees. So what we're going to do is be in a nice split stance here, and we are going to bend that knee a little bit, the front one, just so that it's more or less centered toward the middle of the foot. Okay. And what we want to do, and for these first couple times, look at the knee itself, and you're just going to bring your other foot in and back without letting this knee move, all right? Because what normally happens if we just step in and out back, the knee kind of, wobbles whichever way. The goal, the constraint we're putting on ourselves is to keep this knee frozen in space, all right? So the rest of the body can move however it wants, but do whatever you need to keep this knee more or less stable. Now it's not easy, even I'm swaying a little bit, but and you can hang onto your chair if you like, but try to keep it stable, all right? And it's hard to do. I'm sure you're looking at it, you're like, oh man, my knee's moving all over. But the less, a little movement is perfectly fine, it's normal. But the goal is just try to freeze it as much as you can. Try to move your other foot back and forth without this knee hardly moving. It's easier if you're hanging onto a chair. Once you've more or less mastered it, hanging onto the chair, you can always try it without hanging on, and that's a lot harder. Of course, if there starts to be pain or anything, take a break. Do maybe one more. Okay, and relax. Check it out. Let's go to the other leg. One of the main reasons why the knee is a joint that gets so abused is over time is because we just, we aren't very good about stabilizing. We don't practice this very often. So let's try it on the other leg. So keep that knee as stable as you can while moving your other foot forward and backward. Again, I recommend hanging on initially, and then once you're able to keep it more or less stable, you can let go. Try also, glance down every so often, but also try to look forward once you kind of got the feeling. All right, and relax. Shake it out. All right. That's just a little more of a body awareness kind of thing, but something we want to be mindful. It's very important. You all saw the steps. When you're going up the stairs, how well we can stabilize the knee will really predict how happy our knees will be going up and downstairs. So it's something that we can, if you want more information on that, we can practice that with steps in the future another time. All right, now let's go into our strengthening exercises. So let's do the squat pattern. You can do this sit to stand if you'd like, if that's easier, which means just stand up and sit down in the chair, or you can do it to the side of the chair and squat, bringing your hips back and down. The movement is essentially the same, okay? So we're bringing those hips back, and then we're coming up. Just controlling, and when you're doing this, be mindful of those knees. Just like the exercise we just did, those knees really shouldn't move much over your feet. They should kind of stay stable. It's mostly the hips that are moving back. Good, let's do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a little break. All right, loosen up the hips and everything. If you need to take a seat, you always can. All right, next we're gonna do the hip flexion. So keep those knees soft and relaxed. Shift the weight to one side, and we're going to lift the knee up and slowly down. Control. The leg that you're standing on, make sure you don't hyperextend that knee. Keep it a little soft. That's 3. Looking straight ahead. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, other side. And you can move on the other side of your chair or whatever's comfortable. All right, I'm gonna come up. Slowly down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, shake out the hips, keep them loose. The reason why we do that little shake out is to relax those muscles. A lot of times when we do a exercise, muscles sometimes like to stay clenched, kind of like constricted or flexed when they're not supposed to. So this just helps encourage them to relax, to let go of what's known as actually muscle gripping is the term, when the muscles are just clenched and not releasing. All right, let's go to the other side now. We're gonna shift to one side and lift our leg, doing abduction, keeping the body nice and tall, keeping the toes pointed forward, leading with the side of your foot or the heel, basically. Let's do 5 more. 1, try not to lean, try to stay tall. 2, go slow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, actually, I said 5 more. 8. We got a few extra. My bad. We're gonna go to 15. That's okay. All right. Got a few extra. All right, other side now. Let's go. 10 times. 1. That's what I get for doing a few without counting. 2, 3. Make sure you're still leading with like the heel, the side of the foot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, shake out the hips, keep it all loose. All right, hip extension, so going backward, leading with the heel. Back, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, other side, get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Shake out the hips. Very good. All right, lastly, the ankles. Now lift the heels and slowly lower down. Up, slowly down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, shake it out. All right. Okay, so we're going to follow up that with another kind of hip balance type exercise. So we're going to do a couple sets of these. We're going to hang on to the chair, and I call this the multi-directional reach, so standing over one leg. So it's basically going to be like a modified single leg stand. So our weight is going to be shifted to one side. And what we're going to do as our weight shifted is let this leg be loose. We're going to bring it forward, side, back. Now doing your best to be light on the hands, maybe only use a finger or two. Staying rooted over your foot, staying tall. Forward, side, back. For those of you with really good balance, you might be able to do this without hanging on. But just control, and we're just kind of taking note of how the body is adjusting at this hip in particular, the stable hip, to keep your balance. Let's do it one more time. Good. All right, shake it out. Let's go to the other side. All right, so shift the weight over this leg, so this foot is nice and free, and we just go forward, side, back. Staying tall. Try not to move the body. We're just kind of perturbing our balance a little bit by moving our center of mass as we move the leg. And trying to be very light with our grip on the chair. Don't worry too much about how far you're reaching with your leg, just nice, comfortable range. Okay, relax, take it out. We're gonna repeat that one more time on each side, all right? Get those hips really strong and stable. The second set, try to, restrict your reliance on the chair a little bit more. Try to make, if you're using 2 fingers last time, try to use 1. If you were using 1, try to minimize the grip on the chair. Totally. All right, so shift the weight, forward, side. Go slow with this. Training those hip muscles. Stabilize as we move the center of mass. Go slowly. Control, breathe. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Let's do one more in each direction. All right, very good. Other side. Also be mindful of your foot. Sometimes when we're trying to balance, our toes want to clench. Is anyone noticing that? That can happen sometimes. Your body is trying to hang on, grip as much as it can. So try to keep those toes wide though. Now, the wider your toes can be, the better your balance. It'll help just overall stimulus to your feet. All right, so other side, we're going forward, side, back. Good control. One more time in each direction. And relax, shake it out. Good job. Hips burning yet? Okay. All right. Last but not least, we're going to just finish up with this static exercise. We're going to do our closed eye exercise. So bring your feet together. This will actually be almost more relaxation, I think, after all that hip work. So feet are going to be together. You can just keep the arms to the side. Try not to hang onto the chair. And we're going to close the eyes. We're going to do this for 30 seconds. Okay. Ready and close. Just be mindful of where your chair is, but try not to hang on the whole time. Try to keep the eyes closed. If, of course, you lose your balance, open your eyes if you need to, but try to maintain your balance. Just relax. And then gently open the eyes. Very good. Next, we're going to split our stance. So bring one foot forward, and we're going to be in a split working stance. So So something that you can maintain your balance without hanging onto the chair with your eyes closed as well. So as narrow as you can get it, but without having to hang onto your chair while closing your eyes. All right, so ready, and close your eyes. Just do your best. Try not to hang on the whole time. You know, you can lightly tap it every so often, but try to give as much time as you can not hanging on, because that's going to really train those nerves in the feet to give the proper feedback to keep your balance without depending on our vision. Oh, you're okay. Yeah. Okay, go ahead and open your eyes and switch legs. Other leg forward. Be mindful. Remember, it's a working stance. You know, we want to be a little wobbly, but we don't want to be totally dependent on the chair. So it should be wide enough of a stance that you don't have to hang on to the chair. You should be confident enough that, you know, you might be shaky, but you're not going to lose your balance outright. All right. So wide stance, last 30 seconds. Close your eyes. Slowing the breath, keeping that posture, keeping those feet open, the toes wide. And relax. You may open your eyes. Very good. All right. Go ahead and take a break. Sit down in the chair, and we will do a little stretch just to give the back a little break and to stretch those muscles in the legs that we rely upon so much for our balance. I'm going to start with our knee to chest, breathing low. Good work. Another big class today. 16 of us. Yeah. Wow. Plus on Zoom. All right. Switching legs. Relax, very good. Let's get the piriformis, so crossing your ankle over your knee, gently pressing the knee down, just till you feel a stretch in the hip, the side of the hip. Good. And switch legs. And relax, and we will give them our hamstring. For the hamstring, actually, let's do a dynamic stretch. So for this one, we're going to kind of sit back in our chair, actually, just so your back and everything has good stability. You can hang on to your chair for extra stability. Try to keep the back straight. So we don't want to be slouched in the chair. We do want to still keep everything straight in your spine. We're going to pull the toes back on one leg and straighten that leg. And then we're going to lift that leg up as high as you can. You'll notice even like I'm shaking this height. That's a good thing though. And then slow down or lower down and switch legs. Pull the toes back, lift and hold. So this is training our hip flexors and giving it like an active way for those hamstring muscles to learn to relax, to increase your range of motion in your hips. All right, let's go the other one again. And as I've said before, if your leg is shaking, that's a good thing, especially in this class. It means that there's work being done, especially at a neuromuscular level. All right. And the more you train and practice, it'll eventually go away. You know, eventually more of those connections will become smoother. And relax. Very good. All right, you may either remain seated or stand up for a few upper body stretches. So whatever is more comfortable for you. We're going to bring one arm across the chest, pull the elbow toward you. Switch arms. Kind of getting a stretch in the back of the shoulder, a little in the upper back. Very good. Let's do a underarm back scratch. So you get the back of your hand and reach as far up as you can comfortably without bending forward and without the shoulder rolling forward. Just keep the shoulder neutral. And relax, wind, and the other side. Just nice and neutral position. And relax, unwind. Let's bring one hand to the side of the head, very gently tilt the head. And if you'd like, you may rotate the head a little bit to look down until you feel a little more stretch in the back of the neck and the upper back. Slowly come back to the middle, very gently. Switch sides. We're using the hand largely for stability of the head, just so we don't accidentally tweak a muscle. And then looking down gently. Slowly come back to the middle. Bring both of your hands behind the head, tuck the head back, open the elbows wide. Good, relax. Bring your arms out in front of you and open out to the sides, palms up. And then we'll bring the hands together and down, getting a nice stretch in the wrist as well. Relax the shoulders. And kind of unwind, shake it out. And we'll close. Take a nice breath in. And slowly out. Again.